Hey guys, what's going on? This is G&A Reviews with Drooby-Doo and
Soberoni.
And today we are back here for the next week of the animes.
I didn't know Media Lily was in studio with me.
And it was very, very nice. It was great. We drink lots of vodka. We talk about the Kremlin. It was wonderful. Yes, da.
We're now being investigated by the NSA.
we had nothing to do with the elections yet last year. We promise.
But unlike the election, well, no, let's not go.
I make you a little joke about it. I didn't say
before we go into the rabbit hole. Let's just go into the anime this week, which was actually a really strong week for anime. I don't think there was any. Well, there was one standout bad episode for mine, but everything else was great. So let's start off on a good note with Kekkai, Sensen, and Beyond.
Oh my god! Like, what the fuck happened?
This was. I'm gonna say it every episode. This was a weird episode. It's like this series is weird, but no. This was kind of a filler-ish episode,
and this is exactly. Oh, sorry if I sound weird. I'm taking off my shirt because it's actually getting really warm in here.
Stop trying to seduce me.
Is it working? But yeah. No, this is how fillers should be. Like, that episode of filler is like how every filler episode should be. Just like, doesn't feel like a filler. Just like fun, just stuff happening, very fast paced.
Yeah. A lot of the side stories that the characters have ended up converging with each other, which was cute. We got Chain. Chain was awesome this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Zap was awesome this episode. That whole Zap subplot was fucking fantastic. So what happened to the other prostitute? Did she just die?
I think
she just bled out.
I think so. That was a lot of blood.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of violence this episode. A lot of people died and or were dismembered. This was one of the more violent episodes for a filler.
I mean, no, I don't think it was really violent.
I mean, it wasn't violent because a lot of
compared to all the rest of the episodes,
because the violence was played off comedically. Like in the case when you think about it, though, like for example, the two thugs that got disembodied completely.
Well, we didn't see it.
But I mean, the implications there are pretty gross. That their whole body was chopped up and they were transplanted into little vases.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened there.
That's what happens when you lose to Chain in a drinking contest.
Yeah, and then also I felt really bad I felt super bad for Steven, where he just tried to have a nice party. He just wanted to have a nice party and enjoy his mate's pot roast. Everything's supposed to be fine, and then unfortunately everyone was out to kill him.
Yeah.
I think it was an episode of the Body Snatchers, apparently.
Something like that. The funny thing is that all the characters had good development. Even for a filler, all the characters had really good, we learned a lot about Leonardo not wanting to use his eyes. Which is dumb, but, he at least has some kind of moral code where he refuses to use his eyes for himself. And we got to see him struggle with that. And then we saw Steven. We learned a lot about Steven this episode.
Yeah.
He just got super developed.
And he's I'm not surprised that he went a little. It was so weird. It's we saw the lighter version of him and then the really dark version of him at the same time.
Right. Yeah. You got to see both sides of him, and like you were saying earlier, I felt really bad for him. He just wanted to have a nice party, and it's just everybody's killing me again.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to assassinate me.
No, and it's and I didn't think it was I didn't even see it going in that direction. I just thought one of the other characters was gonna crash the party and it's gonna be really crazy.
I thought he was gonna faint or something because he was all clumsy the whole morning. But nope, it was all part of the plan.
So part of the plan to kill all the dinner guests.
And even Chain got a nice little bit of development with her sticking up for Leonardo and then puking up at the end, which was super cute.
No, cheers. I wouldn't say she stuck up.
Well,
for
she didn't
Leonardo.
stick up for him directly. She definitely
just let his ass get beat.
Well,
for
she
a
let
second
him.
time.
Yeah, and then she kind of was like, "All right, you got your ass beat, but I'm gonna help you out a bit by getting revenge on the assholes who beat you up."
Yeah, stealing their money and disappearing. That's the way to do it.
I think Zap is the only one who didn't get any development this episode. He was just running around.
That one screen, like that one scene where he's literally just like grabbing his junk and doing this weird dance. I'm like, oh, that needs to be. That needs to turn into a GIF somehow.
But overall, it was really, really good. I think this was my favorite episode of the season, actually, so far. I enjoyed this more than the last 2 episodes.
This is one of my favorite fillers, like, ever.
Yeah, this was a fantastic episode. Alright.
I'm so mad they're just, like, his harem, and then in his harem, like, one of them's a witch, and she just started casting.
Yo, that fucking...
And the fact that, like, he just did nothing about it. Like, I'm like, this is literally your job, to stop people from her to do about what she's... about to do,
yeah.
And he just, like, kind of just let it happen. And then she kind of was doing it again, but on his penis.
Alright.
Great talk.
great opener. Great
Yeah,
opener.
right?
Speaking of doing things to your penis, here's Blend S. Perfect segue.
Oh, that is cringe. Cringe is real.
Oh, anyway, Blend S. Another really good episode this week.
It was. So basically, it starts out with excuse me. We learned a lot about the main character, and I think we learned in this episode what makes her like really weird, like everyone else. Like she really goes into her. I was gonna say her interest in foreigners, and I'm just gonna take out the word interest and put in the word obsession.
Yeah, she's like clearly obsessed with foreigners.
Yeah, and it was really cool that like by having this conversation with the manager about her obsession with foreigners, we also get to see a little insight into her childhood and how her, her total like resting bitch face totally like impacted her childhood. Like, every time she tried having some kind of influence with being a foreigner, her parents just thought that she was trying to be a gyaru and be like a badass, and they were like, no, you can't do this. You have
Stop rebelling.
Exactly. Where she had nothing but like very like pure like intentions.
I think one of my favorite lines this episode was just when she's like, oh, by the time I was 5, I was just tired of Japan.
Oh yeah, that was
like,
such a great
got
line.
tired of this
and
shit.
we're just like, what? How can you get tired of a whole culture at 5?
And I like her because she feels like she's not overly I don't know, she's not very stereotypical for me. Like she has a lot of varied reactions to different things. She's not the typical like ecchi da 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 with the manager when he tries to do kind of pervery like actions, like she'll let him sleep on her lap or like touch his hair and stuff. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, that scene was cute, and they were like, the whole the manager sleeping on her legs. That was like really cute and really funny, but ecchi, but not too ecchi.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it just went to full blown comedy when like the rest of the staff just came in on them, and they're just like, call the cops.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the episode though was the second half with the whole doujinshi.
Oh my god, that was easily the best.
Yeah, that was like the best part of the episode. Just seeing all their reactions to Kaho wanting to read it, Micah being super traumatized by it, and then her going around asking people, like, so do you like being tied up?
hey, so what do you feel like doing to a bunch of schoolgirls? Oh god! And even though that was the third part actually. It's the second part, and even though in my mind it was like the weakest part of the whole episode.
Oh, the date.
It was still like a good part because I don't know. It was good, but it was also confusing because it's like they're trying to make some weird, almost like they're trying to set up the manager and Micah as like an actual
yeah, you have a thing where you hate everyone who's not the appropriate age. They have to be within a year of each other or whatever for them to be dating.
Okay, well, definitely can't be a child.
She's not a child. She's in high school.
One can't be a child.
The manager.
Let me repeat what I said. One can't be a child.
The manager isn't that old. He isn't like.
We don't know how old he is.
They don't have a sexual relationship.
If he is our age, which he is, because he's a manager of a club, they don't just hire 19-year-olds to be managers of places.
I don't know.
So he's our age, and he's trying to get with like a high schooler. Yeah, it's
Listen,
a little bit.
It's a foreign culture. How dare you judge them?
He's from Italy.
He's two foreign cultures.
He's from Italy. His culture also does not endorse hooking up with teenagers. So no, sorry.
How dare you judge both Japanese and Italian cultures?
Anyways, that weird lolly fantasy aside, it was also very cute when they like the whole them buying each other like the same keychains.
Oh, that was super nice. Yeah, them buying each other the same bear.
That was actually a very cute scene.
Reminded me of Card Captors. To a much lesser degree.
Yeah, so no.
All in all, really strong episode. Again, another 3 for 3 with good episodes from Blendes.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for one other show, it might be the best comedy airing this season. But we'll get there. And it's not what you think, Drew.
I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I'll be flipping all up and down these pages in my notebook.
Next up, we have Himouto Umaru-chan R, episode 3, which was almost my episode of the week. Almost. This was another really fantastic best of the season episode so far for the show.
Yeah, this is a good episode. I enjoyed it.
I think I'm getting used to the mini arcs within each episode where it's like 5 or 6 or 7 different little stories within the episode. Because I'm kind of seeing a theme within them where it's like one is dedicated to Sylphie, the next one is
like they all have their own like stories from like starting from like the first episode. Yeah. So in that way, yeah, I agree with Silverani. I'm very comfortable with that. Yeah,
and it's kind of like spreading the spotlight around to them. I especially, obviously, my favorite ones are the ones where they're all 4 together because it's like, I don't know, the chemistry between all 4 of them is just super cute. Especially seeing Ebina like freak out over food and stuff.
Oh my god.
That whole hamburger scene. Oh, that was great. It was actually a really funny episode.
Fucking Ebina going Higurashi hamburger mode. Hamburger!
Does anyone freeze their hamburgers? Question to the audience. Do any of you freeze hamburgers from McDonald's?
And if the answer is yes, what happened to your childhood?
Because Evina's response did not make any sense to me at all. Why did you buy 15 hamburgers? I'm going to freeze them.
I'm not going to eat them. I'm going to freeze some of them. I'm going to freeze them. And I'm just like...
What? What kind of weirdo freezes their hamburger? No, I don't know. I'm not going to be like Drew and judge another culture, so... Maybe that's a Japanese thing.
That's not a Japanese thing. That's Western culture. Hamburgers are literally Western. You dumb fuck.
Oh, but no. Ebina and Sophie, and even now the other girl, I forgot her name. What's her name?
Which one? Kirie?
Yeah, Kirie. They're all growing on me. I like each of them. I used to like Ebina more than the other two, but now it's like it's pretty close. Like I love Kirie and I love Sophie. So I don't know who's my favorite anymore. Even Sophie's brother's kind of cool.
True. And you know, wait, because I feel like you didn't mention this. Maybe you did. I was just like spacing out, but I'm really like starting to like Bomba.
Yeah, Bomba's good too. Like the whole cast is just really good this season. Because I didn't really care for him much in the first season.
He kind of was just like there, but like now he's actually like having like really like good interactions. Like I actually really like him and Umaru together because they get along
Mm-hmm.
very well. Like they're kind of the same, but they're not at the same time.
Right. Oh, that scene with them was super cute.
Yeah, with them in the kitchen scene, and then even before then when they were like kind of just like playing around.
Mm-hmm. The interactions. It's funny because the interactions between like the side characters is more interesting to me than whatever Umaru is doing with her brother. And I feel like a lot of the focus has been taken away from Umaru and her brother and given to like
everyone
Bamba
else.
and Kirie, and so so it's spread, and I like it. I like it so far. And this was a really funny, nice, lighthearted, comical episode.
Agreed.
Okay. Speaking of nice, next is UQ Holder. which this episode
it wasn't bad. It was just not as good as every other episode.
If you watch this episode up to 18 minutes, it's a fantastic episode. And then you stop watching it. Watch it up to 18 minutes if you haven't seen it, and then just assume that he passed the test and spare yourself the eye bleeding that is the horrible CG fucking lizard things.
I mean, I didn't hate them.
I hated them. That's like, it looks like something out of a 1970s like the I don't know, 1930s 50s Godzilla looked better than the whatever lizard monsters were coming out of this episode.
Yeah, to me it was just a very like, introductions of these people and their characters and yada yada yada, and it was cool. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. It just wasn't as strong as every other episode.
I liked the episode in every other regard. It felt kind of rushed to me because of the whole, like, quick, here's a sword. Now you can use the sword. Here's your training arc. We're going to do your whole training arc in, like, an episode or whatever.
Here are all these new characters.
And here's all these new characters, by the way. Yeah. So, in that sense, it was like, okay, this is kind of really rushed. And I had the sense that they're like, oh, you guys are skipping, like, a whole arc and condensing it into an episode, aren't you? But it was still even despite that, it was still pretty good.
No, it was
pretty
a good
good,
episode.
yeah.
It was a good episode. I'm just saying compared to every other episode that we watched from a majority of this week.
Yeah, and even
That's
compared to the other two UQ Holder episodes, I think this was the weaker of the three. But yeah, no, like it was a strong episode, and I liked the new characters. I liked Karen. I liked even Shinobu, who's just a maid that just sits there doing nothing, is interesting enough to me. And seeing Ava be in charge of everyone is kind of cute.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that aspect of it. And the fight was pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Great, let's move on.
Moving on to ShoBitch.
Yeah, that's my episode of the week.
Oh, shit.
It's my episode of the week. I'm sorry. It's like... it's literally like the same. They literally pulled an Ousama Game.
Yep, the same thing that happened with me and Ousama Game was now happening with you and ShoBitch.
I know, where they're just like, it just got like, no. It was like a good episode, and I was like, oh, okay, this is getting a lot better. I'm enjoying this. It was it's really good comedy this episode, and then they did the Cube joke, and that just put it over the top. I just put it over the top. I was like, oh my god! Like I literally stopped everything and like said out like, no way! And then, like, my sister was like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it.
I think it was because, yeah, like I said in the last week, it was like, oh, the whole episode, the first episode revolved around just the main girl and making 1,000,000,001 obvious dick jokes. So I'm like, listen, I like the setting, but we needed more characters to support her, and now we have them. We have them. So I loved his little sister because she's not like I was expecting her to be more of the I love my Oni-chan and I want to marry him type of character, but she's kind of ambiguously, like, she doesn't love him, she just wants attention from him, like, innocently, kind of, not sexual attention, but like, just, I want him to dote on me and pet my head and tell me I'm doing a good job and stuff. So that was cute, and it's good to see her be jealous and stuff. And then we get the sexual comedy from his childhood friend.
Yeah, exactly. Just like specifically, like they made like the whatchamacallit, I forget they were like talking about picking up trash, and they're like, oh, and then they're like, oh, what do you do with like a blow up doll and you find it on the street? And I'm like, yes, that is a Sedokai. That is great.
Yeah,
Sedokai.
that was a Sedokai comedy moment.
Yeah, so great timing, great humor, like that. If they can just do that consistently, this anime would be fantastic.
Yeah, this felt a lot more like a Sedokai episode.
Yeah, exactly. The whole incest thing with Kosaka and Kana upon the meeting, that was great. Like, Kosaka's so much better with the rest of the harem.
Yes.
Like, her character gets, like, 10 times better.
Because she's, like, a character who plays off of... Like, she has good reactions to other characters. So, just having her be the only character is kind of boring. But when she's paired with other good characters, it's kind of good.
Yeah, and then, of course, like I said, the lunchbox thing where like her cooking was so bad, like a cube monster appeared from it.
Yeah, and that's good because it shows that they're not just doing obvious sex jokes; they're actually doing other types of comedy like slapstick and references and all that.
Exactly. So very well rounded in terms of the comedy. Very good. I appreciate it a lot.
Yep, massive improvement. Let's see if the third episode is just as good. And if it doesn't pull an Ousama Game, which is what we're going to go into right now. Because this episode...
This is almost my episode of the week.
Really? All right, so...
I'll explain to it why, but you can go and say what you got to say.
All right, so this is the best comedy of the season for me. Because that's exactly what it is. So I think, and I was mentioning it in the comments of my last podcast where everybody was like, "Well, you like the Ousama Game?" And I was like, you know what? Thinking back on it, I think I overly... All right, so episode 1 was so bad that I think episode 2 being decent and setting up a good plot kind of overhyped my expectations. So I was like, oh my god, this is going to be great. And now I see episode 3 and I'm like, oh, okay. It's going to be one of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
So what it is, and I guess that is my fault for overhyping it, but what it is essentially...
You overhype a show and it becomes bad.
Whoa, what a novel concept. So what it is it's going to be an over-the-top, crazy, stupid gore fest where everybody doing like the craziest, stupidest shit, and every episode is gonna like try to like leapfrog the other one and be even more insane and crazy. So you know what? I don't think it's as a horror psychological thriller. It's no fucking Shiki or another, but it's gonna be entertaining because this episode was fucking stupid. You have to admit, it was fucking stupid.
It was stupid, but you were entertained, though.
Yes, that's the point. It's stupid, but it was entertaining. It's an entertaining
It was just
show.
literally just like, I think that's why I love it so much, because it's just like all this crazy, stupid happening. Like, let me open my notes. Like, I was about to go in without even using my notes, but like, there's this like super good, nice guy who's obviously gonna die very soon.
Yeah. Oh man, he's gonna be dead next week. I guarantee he's gonna be dead. He triggered.
He was literally made out of death flags.
Yeah, he triggered so many death flags. He's probably gonna trip over them and then die.
He saves Nobuaki from getting like hurt from everyone. When fucking what's her face?
Why is everyone in the show so stupid? Everyone in the show is just so stupid. The show would be good. Like, the premise for the show is so good. It's just that the characters are so stupid. It ruins it.
Natsuko, yeah. Natsuko is like, no, kill everyone. And then he just, like, bitch slaps her and runs off. And then they go into the... Although I will say, the popularity game was actually, like... That was actually really good. I feel like that's
the premise is so fucking good, and having like the popularity game was a good idea.
I think it was good until you kind of dumped
it was good until they was like, you know what? Instead of writing good, unique characters that can take advantage of this really interesting scenario, let's just have the character throw herself out the fucking window for no reason, and it will be like a giant blood splatter when she hits the ground, like if she just, I don't know, dived into a pool or something.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole thing was I think that was like very interesting and very awesome because they were just like, she was like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm just gonna have to fuck my way through half.
Oh yeah, but actually that part is believable. Like
that's what you would do.
Yeah, like everything about this part of this episode up until she jumped out the window was good and believable. But then this show had to be like, nope. We can't be believable and realistic. We gotta take this the extra mile. So she's gonna jump out the window for no fucking reason and kill herself.
Yeah, which kind of happened, and then it was even cool. Okay, and then I was like, okay, that was a bit extra, whatever. And then was another cool twist was that he was like, oh, actually, I kind of just like lied to everyone to vote for them. But then it's even worse because if everyone like talks about it, then they're all like admitting that
they betrayed
her.
Yeah, which I thought was good. Like that was one of the few moments where I actually liked the main character. I'm like, oh shit, he has like this dark side to him and shit. And he's willing to break the rules of his morality to save his friends. It gave him some nice, I don't know, characterization outside of being an inconsistent asshole.
But then, for some reason, once the girl dies, even though...
If you're expecting the show to follow its own rules, it's not. It's just literally going to do the most stupid thing you can possibly do and keep doing it.
Oh, her punishment is to actually... It's revealed, instead of her... She probably should have read the punishment. Instead of, her having to die, the punishment was for having to confess that who she loves the most.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that happening, she jumped to the window. And my thing was, which this game contradicts itself, it's like, oh, if she doesn't do that, she'll be punished. So if she doesn't confess, she'll die.
And she dies.
But
anyway.
She dies anyway.
Yeah, so...
Because she didn't confess. Or she couldn't confess, because I think she just ended up naturally dying.
Right, yeah.
And then... So instead of her just being dying, it's like, oh, she died. They're like, oh, now the other guy who is part of the King's Game Order, he has to have sex with someone.
He has 10 minutes to fulfill this. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
make any sense. And then I put that in, which, I don't know if Silver Oni was being, like, serious about it or not, but, like...
I was being serious about this. Are you talking about the three-way thing?
Yeah, like, I don't... First
idea.
of all, when it comes to humans and sex and stuff, that's not a straight, narrow, like, solution. Even if you're, on the line, you're gonna fuck your best friend's girlfriend.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's why you should have a three-way. Like, if his whole thing is like, I don't want to fuck your girlfriend because I'm taking her from you, then you just be like, alright, we'll fuck her together.
But what... But as a teenager, how can you get it up while having sex with your best friend right there, and the third person is your girl, is like his girlfriend?
Did you skip your teenage years?
How is that sexy?
Did you skip your teenage years? Because teenagers can get it up to like that fan will probably get it up for half the teenagers in the world. Like what the fuck? Are you talking about?
I would do it. I would do it if like. We all decided and thought like, oh yeah, we're all kind of like really had that weird like kind of attraction thing to each other. Not like, oh fuck or else I'm gonna die. Do it now.
Well, I mean, how is that any worse than just being like him, the main character, taking his friend and his girlfriend and shoving them in a fucking closet and being like, fuck each other now.
Because they're essentially.
Or let me knock him out and you can rape him while he's knocked out.
No, it's all awful. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's like, because at a certain extent, like, I was gonna sound really fucking weird, but wait for me to explain. It's like, to a point extent, all members in the party, because they don't want to participate in it, it's like almost like a form of rape on like everyone's part. Like in the sense that I know she doesn't want to do it. He sure as hell not consenting to it. But they're just like, but we kind of have to live, but we really don't want to. I'm not saying like it's like a physical...
This show does not deserve this level of fucking philosophizing right now. This show doesn't deserve this.
But it just puts up a very interesting point.
This show does not put up a very interesting
I'm trying to find the good from all the crazy nonsensical shit.
Yeah, we're extrapolating on some bullshit that just happened that didn't make any sense.
But like no one. But my point is that no one ultimately wants to do this. That's my point. And if you don't want to do it, and you're having it forced upon you, like that's like almost like a form of rape, and no one likes to get raped. The last time
I get that. I get that point. I'm just saying. There's also the fact that he could have just had sex with his own friend instead of pushing him on his girlfriend.
First of all, and I, as a gay man, can say anal sex is not fun. Especially if you don't want it.
It did not specify what kind of sex. You could just give him a blowjob and be like, "Oh, I had sex with him."
They definitely. If they're saying.
The text did not say it needs to be penetrative sex.
I know. No. I was thinking about that too. Although for anime, for like the whole purpose of the anime, we probably should just assume they meant like penetrative.
Well, that brings me to the other point. I was thinking, like, can't they just fuck around with the orders? Like, the orders are vague as they are. Can it just be like, well, if the order says,
well, the thing is, the only way they'll know is if the phone says, "Oh, you did it."
Yeah. So what? Give him a blowjob real quick and see if the phone says he did it or not.
What happens if he gets the blowjob and like
if he
doesn't do it? Then it's like, now what? You can't just get it up again and go for round 2.
If your life depends on it.
No, that kind of pressure stops you from getting a hard on. That's the whole point.
You better fix it. You better go get some Viagra real quick.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, fuck this show.
I like that. I appreciate that it has like such crazy, stupid circumstances that we can actually have something to talk about. I appreciate
this is going to be a show where we're going to talk about it a lot just because so much stupid shit is going to happen.
I know, and I love it. I love it. That's so dramatic and over the top and all this crazy shit's happening. I love it. It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
It is. I'll admit that too. But I will say this. This, I wouldn't say it's not a well-written show or anything. It's just, it's entertaining. But if you do want a good psychological horror, I feel inclined to just recommend you go watch Shiki, which is a great psychological horror. And with that, let's move on to Fate Apocrypha before we spend the rest of the night talking about the philosophy of Ousama Game. So this is episode 15 of Fate Apocrypha because episode 16 is not subbed yet. So we're always going to be a week behind. Woo! But this is my episode of the week. Surprise, surprise. Because I think this is the one episode that I've been asking for from Fate Apocrypha since like episode 4 or 5. It didn't have any action. I don't think it had any action at all. Fighting. There was no fighting, but we got a little bit of character development from every character. Like Chiron is one of my favorites now. Like, he was a fucking bro in this episode.
He was always great. I called him from day one. He is amazing.
He didn't do anything.
My favorite servant from day one.
Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry. Well, I'm hopping on your bandwagon now.
Thank you.
But he was great this episode, and I'm like, oh my god, he's such a bro. He's so fucking awesome. I love Chiron. On top of his CQC, he's also like looking out for his master. His master was... I always saw her as just like this cold-hearted kind of like authoritarian figure, and I'm like, oh, she. Really? I actually saw her being the one who was gonna kill her brother. Like, I'm like, oh, she's gonna kill her brother.
I never know why. Why?
Because she's kind of cold.
But she literally says that like she wants to protect her brother.
She didn't say that. She said her wish was to get working legs, not to protect. Her brother was like, I want to protect my sister.
Didn't she?
No, it was the other way around because it was her brother was the protective one.
Sister, right,
yeah,
right.
So I figured like, oh, she's gonna trample all over him. Ironically,
no. Great words of choice.
So I was like, oh, she's gonna do that, but no, she's actually like the one who's like straining herself to put up that front. And I felt so bad for her during the whole dog scene, and I like her a lot more. I like Joan a lot more. I like pretty much every character got so much more fleshed out.
Oh, fucking Sisugo.
Sisugo got an amazing backstory.
That whole conversation between him and Mordred.
Mordred are my favorite servant master pair across any Fate thing. Yeah,
they're kind of
the best. They're the best chemistry. I love how it's kind of like they have a unique relationship where it hasn't like a father-daughter kind of relationship, and where Mordred never really had a father and he can't really have a daughter.
Exactly. Oh my god, I didn't think about that. Oh.
So that was really nice, and they get along really well.
The uncle.
Oh, the uncles now. Even though I wanted him to die by episode 3, I'm kind of liking him now.
Died, but he's like nice and helping people.
Yeah, it's cool to see him. Like, listen,
not just being a drunkard.
Yeah, he's kind of like, all right, we fucked up. We all fucked up, but let's make the best of this.
Exactly. And then I like how they also mentioned Eisenburn, which is just interesting because remember this is a different reality, so they didn't have to exist.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they did that. Astolfo even was nice this episode. I liked her little, or I can keep calling her. I liked his little overprotectiveness of Sieg, where he kept like bodyguarding him from Mordred, and even when he bumped the fat guy just because he was in the way. So I really appreciated Astolfo this episode. Like every single character got like I actually care about the characters now, aside from just Mordred and Fran's already dead, but Mordred. So even I know you're gonna be upset. Even Shiro got a good amount of character development.
I really don't.
He had this whole beginning part.
Yeah. I remember that. Actually, I pay attention to Atalanta.
Yeah,
because her personality just like her wish took me by surprise so much. Yeah. It's very touching.
Her wish was great. I liked Achilles and Atlanta's kind of playing off each other. Karna even got his little like, listen, I'm not on your side because I want to be on your side. I just want to fight somebody. So
yeah, and then also I think at some point he kind of like implies that like they're gonna be enemies at some point.
Oh yeah, he's like, listen, as soon as I kill whatever Sieg, then I'm just gonna come and kill you guys. So that was nice. Well,
because he doesn't want the war to be over.
Yeah, he doesn't.
His wish is actually to keep the war going.
Right. So like try out his spear. What else was there? Oh, but no, yeah. The reason I'm liking Shiro now is because, and I'm compared to like Fate Stay Night Shiro.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying that the exact same person. No, Emiya is god awful. Well, Masuka Shiro. I mean, I still don't like him, but it's like, would you rather get shot in the face or the foot?
Well, for me, it's because like if I like regular Shiro from Fate Stay Night, I can't picture him doing half of what a Makusa Shiro is. Like regular Shiro for Fate Stay Night can't even keep Saber for 2 out of 3 of the routes. So seeing like a Makusa Shiro being like, listen, Karna, Achilles, Atlanta, Semiramis and Shakespeare are all gonna listen to me. Otherwise, like, and he's not doing it through power. He's doing it through like clever manipulation of their wishes and stuff. Like he's way more tactful and clever and composed than Shiro ever. And I like that kind of villain where he's just like, listen, like he's like Kodomine. But I just wish he had a little bit more personality. Like, at least Kodomine was, like, very sadistic in Fate Zero.
Yeah, Kodomine, oh, God. They talk about a good villain.
Yeah. If they get a little bit more personality to Makusa, then...
No, I feel like if they do, I'm going to hate him even more. Because then he's it's literally all it's going to be is, like, oh my god, that one night at Fuyuki City, it was horrible. Right, everyone died and I gotta save everyone. And I'm gonna hate him.
Alright, don't make it like that. But make it interesting. Like, give him a nice personality quirk or something. And I will like him a lot more. But so far, he's growing on me. Again, only character I don't like is Sieg because it's... Oh, we didn't even touch on Joan being a complete non-neutral bitch now.
Yeah, I told you. I did tell you. I was like,
She is not neutral at all.
She's kind of not. I mean, to be fair, she is being non-neutral because at this point, like, Shiro is kind of cheating at this point. And she's like, this is not at all how this is supposed to be. Like, you're literally forcing me to interfere at this point because you're breaking, like, literally every fucking rule that exists.
Yeah, but
two
wrongs don't make a
right. So now it's getting to the point where she's like, well, I kinda need to win, so you get a command steal, you get a command steal, we all get command steal.
Yeah, she's like Sieg's second servant at this point. Like, he has Astolfo and he has Joan right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think she's just doing what she feels like is necessary. To,
at this point, she definitely is just doing what she needs. But I just wish they hadn't introduced her as neutral. If her role is just so quickly going to turn into, I'm just going to kill a monk. So.
Maybe it would have been fine if they didn't have a main character whose whole existence literally is going against all the rules.
Yeah.
Which is going to make her play such a hyperactive role and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but, yeah, I'm glad that they had this episode. It's the type of episode that they needed to get me to care about the actual factions and care about the characters and care about what's going on. Because as cool as it is to see servants fight each other, if I don't have any investment in, like, what Atlanta's goals are, what Achilles' goals are, why I should care about Chiron, then I'm not going to care when they die. But now, I care a lot if Chiron dies or
I always cared if Chiron dies because I knew
I was the original Chiron supporter.
Exactly. For all you fakers came out of nowhere saying how great he is.
Well, I'm gonna roll for him and not get him in Fate Grand Order, so whenever he comes out. And I think that wraps up this week in anime.
But does it?
Does it? You have something else you want to talk about?
Can we talk about Imouto?
Yes, let's talk about Imouto.
I don't know, because we're pretty good for time.
At this point, I think it should be like the unofficial 8th thing.
It is the unofficial. Keyword is unofficial.
So let's go into Imouto Sae. Episodes, what? You want to do 2 and 3? Or, no, did we talk about 2 last week?
Wait, did 3 come out?
We just saw 3. That was the travel and food episode.
Oh, right. I don't have notes on this. So I'm not looking in my book. Okay. So, I think it took me time. I think Sorny was partially right. Like, I needed time to, like, not lower my expectations, just change them. Because, like I said, he hyped it up as something that it just wasn't. It just wasn't. So I kept looking for it, even subconsciously looking for it.
I think I planted a seed that you took the wrong way.
You just kept like, okay, so if someone shows you a screenshot of literally 1 or 2 jokes from a whole anime that's not a comedy, you're gonna expect that's a comedy.
I wouldn't say it's not a comedy. It's not a slapstick sedokai.
First of all, it has comedy in there, and I personally believe its comedy is just not strong. Like, I'm sorry. I just feel like their delivery is just... It's a little too, like... to the point. Like, it's a little blunt. And also, from episode 1, 2, and 3 now, what's her face? The good one. The good girl. With the white hair.
It starts with an M.
It's not Mayuri.
It's... Because they keep calling each other by nicknames. It was Miyako.
I like her, literally, she literally just falls into the pattern, or, like, her and the main character had that same conversation, which was cute the first time it happened. What's happened 3 times where she's like, Sensei, I love you. Love who? Have sex with me.
You're talking about Nayuta then. Nayuta, not Miyako.
Oh.
But the mean girl. The
good one. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I call it the good one because I like her.
Oh,
I like her.
I thought you meant like the good girl, like the stereotypical good girl type of character.
No. Like, I actually like her, even though Silverin doesn't think I do. I do like her.
Because you're intro to her.
They just do... But she just has things... They just make her say things that I just don't care for or don't like. Like, the whole, like...
Somebody go back in the records of this podcast and get Drew's first reaction to when Megumin said "dick" on Iro Manga Sensei and compare it to what he's about to say right now. Go.
It's like once again, Megumin, like, I think if Megumin also kept doing like the whole like, I like dicks, and me on my classics like dicks. I think I would have gotten tired of it too. Cause it's my problem is like she just like it's now like this is like a repeated like you're having the same conversations, like that's a little bit painful, and you could be she has such a good potential, and I think the writers are just like not giving her better dialogue, because like every other scene she had in episode like 2 and 3, she wasn't that strong in 3, but episode 2, the whole hotel scene, that was a super awesome scene. Like, it was one of the better ones.
I think that episode 3, her dialogue with the word game that they were doing, and I don't know, that one thing where she was eating the
word game was the same thing from episode 2. It was the same shit. That's a problem. They repeated the same dialogue. Don't do that.
It was not in episode 2. I don't remember that.
It's episode 2 or episode 1. They literally repeated the same thing. That's why I'm just like, I'm having a sense of deja vu because you guys are saying the same fucking things. Don't do that. Don't do that. This anime, stop doing that. It's not...
I think you're just taking every dick joke as the same joke.
No, it's not a dick joke. It's like, they don't repeat the same joke. I just don't like having the same joke repeated. Like, you can kind of tweak it a little bit to keep it fresh, but don't literally say it verbatim. Like, they literally... I can put it side by side, their dialogue, and it's almost exactly the same. And that's not a good thing, because it's just very tiring. That aside... This anime, like I said, it's not a comedy, but it's definitely one of those animes that, like, you don't take too much, like, you don't have to invest too much, like, you could definitely, this is one where you just kind of just watch and things, like, play out, and I think as the episodes go on by, towards the end, it's gonna become more high stakes with, like, you know, with egos are gonna clash, all their statuses as publishers, whether they're mangaka or
light novel authors and stuff.
Yeah, like that stuff's going to is going to interact with their personal lives and their their actual careers, and that's all going to come to a head. And so if now that I've adjusted my expectations, so I can look at it as that, now I can enjoy this anime. As opposed to it's calling itself a comedy and da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, it's not really that funny, but everything else in it is good too. Like, for example, episode 3, it was lighthearted with some kind of ha 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 moments, but all it was the main character going places and eating.
I think it was alright, so it's not a comedy in the sense that Iromanga Sensei was a comedy.
Or any other comedy.
Or Sedokai is a comedy. Anything like that. It's different from those. It's it's a slice of life comedy. The comedy comes just from it's not going to have sound effects and zoom ins and all that kind of dramatic effect to enhance the comedy of it.
There are a traditional comedy. There are other slices of life that are just as funny.
But I'm just saying...
There are funnier, sorry.
Its strength is that it is lighthearted. I wouldn't say it's not laugh out loud funny because it's not a slapstick comedy, but it's lighthearted. It'll put a smile on your face, and it is... The drama is good. Is it as good as Iromanga Sensei? No.
I said from the beginning.
Because Iromanga Sensei has more charm to... First off, the comedy... Obviously, Iromanga Sensei is more of a comedy.
Yeah.
But there's more charm to Iromanga Sensei. And this show kind of has... I think the drama is better in this show than it was in Iromanga Sensei. This is more of a drama with light comedy than it is a comedy with light drama like Iromanga was.
Although I will say, this third episode, I wasn't a particular fan of, because...
It was a lot slower paced. Also, it felt like a giant ad.
Yeah, exactly. It's go to Okinawa. Go to Fukuoka. No,
to Hokkaido.
To Hokkaido.
Yeah.
It's I didn't... All I learned is that... I didn't even learn it. It wasn't even me learning it. Learning that, I obviously... I shut her down. I'm like, obviously you shut her down. You guys aren't dating. Of course you rejected her. That's something that I knew. I didn't really get anything from anyone this episode.
Listen, I think if you...
Except for introduction of a new character.
Like Drew said, if you appropriately adjust your expectations and don't go in thinking this is the Bakemonogatari of our generation or something, then no. You'll enjoy it regardless. But, yeah, it's not the level of bakemono, or it's not that clever, or that it's what it is. It's a nice show. I think it's one of the better shows airing this season. It's a lot better than people who look at it, just off a glance would give it credit for. Like, it's a lot better than people would give it credit for, I think, going into it. If you were blind going into it...
One of the things that I do like about it is, like, the premise is very, very interesting, because it feels very original.
Yeah.
And in a good way.
If you're looking at it and you're like, oh, this is just a show that's going to be about, like, bunch of little sister comedy and sex jokes. Like, if you're the type of person who didn't like Eromanga Sensei because you thought it was too stupid and mainstream and childish and blah blah, too much moe or whatever, this might be more up your alley because it's more grounded and it's more of a drama. So I would recommend it in that case.
Oh my god, that's the word I've been looking for this entire fucking weekend.
Grounded?
Moe.
Oh, moe.
I was wondering, like, that one I think about LibertyCon for some reason. And I was thinking of that one woman who was, for some reason, trying to be an idol in New York City. And she's like, oh, let me teach you the art of moe. And I'm like, oh, this is a little bit cringy because you're, like, a wee bit too old for this concept, but,
yeah, the show's not as moe as Eromanga Sensei was.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that about covers it up. No more surprise ambush reactions to shows now.
Yes, no, that is all we have for today. If you enjoyed our...
podcast?
Yeah, that too.
Is that what this is?
I don't know, I was really trying to say something cute and trying to say something clever, but I was like, I can't think of anything. It was just a really strong week. And yeah, if you enjoy all of our podcast, moe or not, then by all means, like, comment, and subscribe. Soberoni, do you have any last few words to say?
Nope. Just hit that like button, and we'll see you guys next time. Soberoni out. Later.
Jubidu also out. Bye.